Welcome live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. I am your host, Devin Poslusny, along with Dave Poslusny. As always, he's got food in his mouth. That's why he just gives you the silent wave this week. Well, this show is a little late because yesterday was Mother's Day, so it was a holiday, so we decided to kind of put operations of Racing Hotspot aside.
Actually, his grandmother did. My mother.
I was not going to say that because I realized that could bite me in the butt in the future.
I said it, but it bite me.
Yeah, so, and also we'd like to say some things. Actually, you know what, we'll get to that in a minute. Take a look at our show lineup here. Motorsports at 60, we're only covering one topic. And then we have a social media, or social pit stop. That's the blue line under here because I couldn't fit it on the page. Then we go to IndyCar, Formula 1, which we have our Formula 1 analyst on this week. Then we have NASCAR. We take a break. I forgot to change that yet again. Virtual race, but this week we have the All-Star race. So Dave and I decided to spice things up a little bit and race each other.
Yep. What I'm going to do with absolutely no practice and never have played the game.
Yep, and I'll give you...
So it's either going to be great or really funny.
So I'll give you some pointers and maybe a couple laps to warm up.
Pointers? You're going to give me pointers?
Hey,
that's why we're doing this. It's so bad I keep making fun of you.
I'm going to explain to you when you go into the corner, you don't have to turn the steering wheel 190, you only have to turn it a little bit.
I know how to drive.
Yeah, not on the weight. Then we go to the points championship.
Well, if it's that different, then it's not realistic. So I may just throw the thing and say, forget it.
You know, I have to say real quick, back to camera one here, I got this last night, and I was playing it before the show, and I was like...
NASCAR Unleashed?
Yeah. What it is it's basically NASCAR, Global Rallycross style. There's jumps, there's dirt sections, like...
So stuff you're never going to see except at, except the trucks at Eldora.
Basically. But they had, like, Martinsville, right? And I'm like, oh, cool, we're racing on the oval. No. It's like, they use the front straightaway, and then they go off-road behind the grandstands, and it's actually kind of cool to play. Yeah.
Sounds a little different.
It is. I'm not that good at it. And again, what am I good at? After the virtual race, we go to the points championship, which if you guys... Actually, I didn't put anything on Facebook for this. I messed up.
Again.
I messed up because Thursday night I went, what's up with the points championship? And I looked at my notes and I went, oh, I'm picking first.
I think you could have done it that night, but it was, the way I saw it, it was kind of relatively close to your bedtime. So, if you would have picked yours and then sent out the message and let us all pick in whatever order, or just send them to you and then you figure out whatever order.
Yeah.
But, actually, it wouldn't work either, too, because you kind of have to know who's got what so you don't double up on the same position.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, the way I was looking at it is, okay, it's not really going to be fair because I'm going to send out this mass email saying, give me your picks. And I got, okay, these are good, he's not, shoot, now I need to email him, and that's Friday afternoon after the first practice. So I'm actually going to buy...
Yeah, the chances anybody watching the practice at 9 o'clock in the morning wasn't going to happen anyway.
Well, I know, but still, I want to abide by the rules.
Actually, at least in his and I case, 9 o'clock in the morning is like time to get up kind of thing. And
must be nice. Must be nice.
You were up as late as I was working, you'd understand it.
So then the final lap, as you'll see in the this week, we have some changes to the way we have the lineup is made up because I actually added some color to this. You'll see it throughout the last week was just black and white really. The slides were all black with white text, and now I'm actually adding pictures and colors. So now to the Motorsports in 60. Kind of need my notes. Motorsports in 60.
I'm so happy about it. You remember, we go through this every time. How do I make it big again?
Hold on. 45 seconds left. Here we go. Top 5 for the SFP 250. Finishing 5th, Taylor Malsam. Right? Yes.
That could be pronounced Malsam.
Okay.
Malsam.
Sorry. Finishing 4th, Austin Dillon. 3rd was Joey Logano. Matt Crafton finished 2nd. and Kyle Busch won the race
Again.
We have 15 seconds here, so I'll just show you. Hit present.
Mm-hmm.
And then right here next to where it exit and the setup.
Yeah, I see that.
Just click that, and now you can access.
Okay, so it gives you your bars. Okay, gotcha.
Time expired.
Done. 60 seconds.
And that was even with my co-host. Checking eBay. Okay.
Now
Now
that you get out of there, you want to wait on this, or you want to go through your things? Because I wanted to, there was stuff to talk about with this race and whatnot.
we'll get to that in NASCAR.
Okay.
Now to the social pit stop. Really, only two things regarding Racing Hotspot. On Saturday night, and you responded to this. Go to bed. Saturday night, I put out on Twitter the top 5 of the race using the hashtag for the event 5-Hour Energy 400. Within 12 minutes, that tweet was retweeted or shared in Facebook terms 25 times and favored or liked in Facebook terms 31 times. The next morning, I woke up to this tweet or this thing saying from Trend. I don't even know. What is that? Trend in.
If I'm reading the word right, that's just trend. Oh.
Trend in. Oh, yeah.
Uh,
That Twitter account. Sorry. This tweet was the most impact on the hashtag 5-Hour Energy 400 trend, or the tweet, was published by @RacingHotspot, and we'll just go real quick. Here's that tweet. Just the simple hashtag 5-Hour Energy 400 top 5, and 32 retweets and 55 favorites.
was that the final results, or was that a position?
That was final results.
Oh, okay. It was before the end.
And if we go real quick, 2 things that really, really helped me, I believe. It's not going to come up here. New Hampshire Motor Speedway retweeted it, this tweet, and NASCAR Fanatics or NASCAR News retweeted it.
So, I'd like to thank them both.
Yeah, thank you, because they both put it out to their audiences, which saw it and ran with
I
it.
see you already put out a thank you.
Yeah, and since then, if we just go to my notifications here real quick, since then I've had followed you, a bunch of people follow me since that. So, yes, thank you for that. And as I said I put it out on Facebook, oh, the power of Twitter. How literally I sent it, and within 10 or 12 minutes, it was just like, I get notifications on my email, and I'm sitting there and I'm deleting them, and all of a sudden it's like, delete, new message, delete, new message, delete, delete. It's like, stop sending them.
You're not reading them in between? Or?
No, well, what they are is just, so-and-so favored your tweet. So-and-so.
Oh, you can turn that off. That's
No,
just
I
a
know.
notification. Yeah.
No, I know, but I like to have it come up in my inbox this way I know to go look at Twitter.
But you already just stated that it drives you nuts, so why not just remove it and
No,
check your inbox? I have the same thing, really, with several of my accounts, like eBay is one of them. And it'll notify me of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want that. I just want it notified. I want to be notified only when, well, A, somebody bids, or B, an item ends. Beyond that, I don't want to be notified if this message is all of that, because I get to that on the in-between.
Okay, I'll maybe fix that.
It's not hard.
Yep.
Preferences, I believe. Account preferences.
Okay, dokie.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Everything is clear. We wait. First row of red lights. And we're off. The Indianapolis Grand Prix is underway. And we've got a car stopped in a huge accident on the main straightaway. 2 cars involved. One of those is Aleutian, but look at that.
It's our pole sitter, Sebastian Saavedra. He didn't get off the line. He stalled on the line, and he was collected by Mikhail Aleutian, starting at the back, unsighted, getting to Sebastian Saavedra.
Front three. Hawksworth to the bottom side of Ryan Hunter-Reay. A bonsai move. Can he hold on to it? Jack Hawksworth, the number 98 machine. This upstart rookie is there. Pagano, Hunter-Reay, side by side through two. Simon Pagano goes to second place in just a couple of turns, Jake Query. The 28 machine of Ryan Hunter-Reay goes from first to third.
We have Dixon off the track in turn 3. Mark, you saw it?
Yep, they were going side by side. Scott Dixon, Will Power. They started that battle through turn number 1, stayed that way through 1 and 2, and all of a sudden they got together going through the 3-4 portion of the course, and Scott Dixon sits just off the edge of the racetrack going the opposite direction, so trouble for the number 9 target car.
Simon Pagano will pit. They'll put on alternate reds. He drag races and he's going to beat Jack Hawksworth off of pit lane.
Problem in the back of the field, and I think that might be Martin Plowman. It happened in turn number 7.
Green comes out. Ryan Hunter-Reay leads them down toward turn 1.
Guys down here on the restart, Graham Rahal contact with somebody. He's at rest here at the start-finish line, about 40 yards before the start-finish line. Most of the field got by, but Graham Rahal sits completely at a rest.
Oriole Servia shows us exactly what we thought. There's not enough fuel in that car to make it to the end.
Little disappointment. Now the car is stalled. He's shaking his head, trying to get it as quick as he does. It just can't get it back into gear.
It's Simon Pagano's race if he has enough fuel. Hunter-Reay still somewhat within reach, but one more turn to go, and Simon Pagano is back on the main straightaway.
The checkered flag waits, and he crosses the line. Simon Pagano has taken the win, followed by Ryan Hunter-Reay. Elio Castroneves in third.
Okay, so you just saw the IndyCar race review. I'll show you that video in a minute. Here's the top 5. Finishing 4th, Charlie Kimball. 3rd, wait a minute here. Wow. Apparently, according to this, we had 2 winners.
Just numerically. The point's still there.
Well, finishing 5th, Charlie Kimball. 4th, Sebastian Bourdais. Helio Castroneves finished 3rd. Ryan Hunter-Reay finished 2nd, and Simon Pagano won the race. Ignore that. They did. Hunter-Reay and Pagano did not both win the race.
I don't think I've ever seen a tie in any racing.
I have.
A tie? I mean, usually it's like thousandths of a second, and when it really is close. But
Back years ago, they didn't have the facilities they have today to take thousandths of a second. And they would look at a picture.
some guy standing at the line going, "Hey, I don't know."
Well, what do you call it? The most famous one was the first race at Daytona.
He won.
He won. And they got him in the winner's circle, then they come back and go, "No, you didn't." What do you call it? That famous photographer, I can't think of the man's name. He passed away a couple of years ago. He brought this picture to the NASCAR and said he didn't win.
Yeah, but that was like
But he showed,
a couple days later.
and it was like a bumper difference.
Right, but depending on where he was with the camera, your
That's
camera
he
angle
was
could
right
throw
on
everything.
the line. He was right on. You watch that line right there, and he had it. It was magnificent.
I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't that long ago where there was the wrong driver called, and they both stayed out on the track, and then it turned out it was the other driver because it was because of camera angle. It's just off enough that it threw it into looking like the other guy went by the line, but then when the timing came through, it was.
Well, now they've got the electronic timing and across that line, and it's very precise.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and you could see that. I think it was this guy right here that was the winner.
Was the winner.
And a couple days later, because of course now it's not picture, Facebook, Twitter, up, good.
They take too long now anyway, as far as I'm concerned.
What, when...
Who was the winner? Do you remember?
Wasn't it Petty?
Lee Petty.
Lee Petty.
Yeah, 42.
Richard Petty's father, right.
Yeah. So, wait, was that the official winner or the...
He was the
First.
official winner, the one that finally,
So it's the guy on top was the official one? Is the
Yes.
official winner?
that
I
was
thought Lee drove the 42.
I don't know. So that's your IndyCar review. Now, let's go to our Formula One review, which was pre-recorded.
See, now I'm totally confused because you have to think about the way the Petty family did it. It was Lee
41,
42,
42, 43.
Richard 43, 44 was Kyle, and then 45
No,
was Adam.
45 was Adam in the Busch series. He never got to the Cup. Adam.
Understood, but it was 45.
No, and Kyle ran 45 in the Cup.
I thought Kyle had run a 44, so I could be off, but
I'm not sure anymore.
unless there was somebody else in there that held a number. I don't know. Anyway.
Back to what I was saying. Now let's go to our Formula One review, which was pre-recorded yesterday because that's when he was, our guest analyst Peter Long was available. And I have to say that I messed up because that camera was not charged. So...
No.
So... that camera was put up there, which, by the way, if I can, I want to get another one of those. I'll keep and have two of those because that's stunning pictures
I'm
of
sorry.
that.
Another one of those is in that expensive camera he's buying?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Hey, look.
Well, if anybody's looking to sponsor us, obviously Devin needs some money.
Only $500. Only. Okay. So in the future, I hope to get another one of those. Point is that last time he was on, it went from this camera then to that camera. This time it's not going to. It's just going to stay on that camera. So look in the top, like right here, for me, basically where the logo for the Grand Prix is. For me, that's where I am. And it was just a basic Skype conversation. So let's take a look at that. Now welcome to the Formula One segment of the show, which we have our new, Formula One analyst Peter Long on. How you doing today, Peter?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Sorry. So let's go to top 5 real quick here. Finishing 5th, wow, I already forgot it.
Valtteri Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas finished 5th. Sebastian Vettel finished 4th. Daniel Ricciardo finished 3rd. Nico Rosberg finished 2nd, and Lewis Hamilton won the race. I saw the last 5 laps or so when I woke up, but tell us what you thought about the race and, yeah, go through it with us.
For the most part, it was a very uneventful race. Kind of boring to watch today, to be honest, compared to the other races of the season. They're finally back in Europe after doing all that traveling, so they're in Spain. They'll pretty much be in Europe till September, with the exception of a little skip to Montreal in a few weeks. All season long, it's been Mercedes dominating, and they dominated again today. Hamilton last week 3 weeks ago had won his 3rd in a row, which he had never done in his career in F1, even though he's done it in other racing series. Today, he got his 4th victory, spectacular fashion. Definitely a little friction going on. After they qualified 1-2, it was clear in the interviews that Nico Rosberg was not happy finishing 2nd to Hamilton, and you could tell there was some body language going on in the interviews. Very competitive, drivers, so not too happy finishing 2nd to Hamilton. And in today's race, they had different strategies, and at the end, Hamilton was on the hard tires and Nico Rosberg was on the soft tires, and they were close, and they came within a half second of each other, but just could not pull it off because he had been on his soft tires for 20 laps. They were kind of coming off at that point, so could not make the pass. So very frustrating for Nico Rosberg to finish 2nd again to Hamilton. Hamilton now with his 4th victory in a row, He had a DNF the first race, so despite that, he's now taken over the lead in the championship. Rosberg drops to second after having the lead for the first 5 races of the year until today. Let's see, Ricciardo did very well for Red Bull. He got a podium. I mean, he's been out racing Vettel at Red Bull, the 4-time world champion, all season. Ended up in 3rd, despite Vettel having an awesome day. I mean, he had a terrible weekend until today's race. His car broke down 4 laps into practice, free practice 1, and then in free practice 2, they were repairing his car. He never got out. And today he started in 15th spot because he got a 5-spot grid penalty because he changed his gearbox. But he raced from 15th all the way to 4th, so he had a great day. But again, outperformed by Ricciardo, which is the Aussie that replaced the other Aussie, Mark Webber, who retired at the end of last season. Ferrari, in the interviews, they interviewed Fernando Alonso, and he kind of made a comment about always beating his partners in racing, which is true, he has, except for Hamilton, I must say. But Raikkonen was giving him a run all weekend, and finally the Spaniard, in his home race, passed Raikkonen to take 5th place away from him. Raikkonen ended up in 6th place. So again, he beat his partner, but at least it's nice to see Raikkonen finally performing close to where we know he can after having a miserable start to the season. Other than that, like I said, it was very uneventful with the exception of, that little close fight between Raikkonen and Alonso for 5th and 6th, and then perhaps Rosberg being able to pull off a win on the last lap against Hamilton because he was catching him up, but that didn't materialize either. So other than those 2 things, really an uneventful F1 race.
Okay. To look ahead here, as we're going to try to keep this short, to look ahead to Monaco, that track, as I know, really one of the only tracks on F1 circuit that I know about. It's very tight and close.
The street circuit.
The street circuit, yeah, exactly. Do you think that that's going to change the standings or how they race at all, or are they still going to be the same way?
I think that's one of the slower circuits in the F1 calendar. I think it just bunches up the pack, gives an opportunity for other teams to just have a better qualifying lap, get ahead, because obviously you want to qualify well in Monaco because there's not a lot of room for passing in that track. Passing is almost impossible, so once the grid positions are set, they're kind of following each other around the track. I mean, there are some opportunities to pass, but not very many, so it'll make it very hard for people to pass, so it makes qualifying all that more important in Monaco. Will the driver's standings change? I'm sure there will be some changes, but right now, I mean, it's Rosberg and Hamilton, and they're running away with it. The Constructors' Championship, Mercedes is leading by a huge margin right now, and I think it's a foregone conclusion that Mercedes will win the Drivers' Championship. The Constructors' Championship. And this is only 5 races in. I mean, there's still 13 races, but I just cannot see them, especially Ferrari and Renault, overcoming Mercedes' power.
Okay. So really at Monaco, qualifying is key. And
yes.
Basically, where you qualify is almost where you finish?
Let's just say there's not a lot of opportunity for passing, so you can get stuck behind a car for a long time. Not that much attrition in terms of cars. The drivers have to focus a lot because, like we said, it's a very tight race, so a little mistake and you're in a wall, and these cars can't handle any contact with walls or other cars, so any contact can put them out of the race. So assuming that doesn't happen, yeah, I think that qualifying dictates where you're going to end up at the end of the race.
Okay. I know, like, on my iPod, I used to have a F1 game on there. And I used to race on the streets of Monaco, and I would agree with you, it is very tight, because if you just go what? And all of a sudden you're in the wall. And
Right.
as compared to like Montreal, where it's kind of tight in some parts but wider in others.
Right. I mean, Montreal's another old track. Not like the new super tracks that they're coming. The new F1 billion-dollar F1 tracks have a lot of space around them, so they have runoff areas for the drivers. Montreal doesn't have a lot of that, and Monaco certainly has even less.
Yeah, I know Monaco has like next to none, as Montreal has some, and if you compare it to Circuit of the Americas, they have like open game at the Circuit of the Americas.
Right. Right. A lot of the newer tracks, if we looked at Abu Dhabi or Malaysia or China, I mean, all of these tracks have so much runoff areas that it's very safe for the drivers, and you don't see many accidents in those situations,
Which I guess are good considering how fragile Formula One cars are. Would you agree?
Yes, Formula One cars are very fragile. Mind you, we did see some bumping at the last race. It's surprising that the cars were able to finish. So,
Yeah.
But this weekend we saw a little hit into the wall, and there goes your whole suspension.
Yeah, and as we saw, I don't know if you saw any of the IndyCar race yesterday. The standing start, guy got stalled and got rear-ended, and the car fell apart. Like it was looked horrific, but the guy was fine. Did you hear about the Sochi racetrack that they're building for F1?
Yes.
Would you like to talk about that at all?
I know that they just announced the the calendar for next year is not out, but they did confirm that the European F1 Championship Grand Prix would be held in Azerbaijan next year. They used to just pick a different European city all the time, and now it's in Azerbaijan. That's new. We don't know what's going on with the New Jersey circuit, and we don't really know what's going on with the Sochi circuit. I know they had the Olympics there. They've been building an F1 track there, and it's scheduled to go online next year. I don't know, with all the politics going on right now, how that's going to affect the calendar when it comes out in the fall. But for sure, it's an issue with what's going on in the Ukraine right now with Russia and NATO kind of across the street from each other with guns.
Yeah.
That can explode into a very difficult situation, and for F1 teams to go there would be a problem. So I think a decision on that is not final until the fall, but for sure, the F1 does want to go to Russia. I mean, they want a presence in all the major countries, and Russia would be one of them, just like the United States is one that they've been pushing for a long time, and now they have the Circuit of the Americas, and they're trying to add a second one in New Jersey with the backdrop. That might not bode well for Montreal in the long run. I still think that Montreal stands a chance to lose their Grand Prix with all these new tracks being built. Montreal's an old facility. But the drivers like the Canadian Grand Prix. It gives them another country presence also. But it's definitely small potatoes to F1 when you consider the United States and some of these other countries.
You brought up New Jersey. What do you think about that? Do you think that they will be there next year or a couple of years, or what? What's your take on it?
I don't know. I guess right now they're thinking it's going to happen next year, and it'd have I think it might even be a night race. They would have the skyline of New York City in the background. It would be spectacular. It would be a road course, obviously. So similar to Monaco, maybe. I'd love to see it happen. Not at the expense of the Montreal race, mind you, but it'd be nice to have a Montreal race and a New Jersey race that F1 fans in New England could go to.
Yeah.
If it'd just be a drive away.
I know we were thinking about possibly going to the New Jersey race when it's put up, because I want to go to an F1 race, but yeah, it's not like New Hampshire Motor Speedway right down the road.
Right.
Anything else you would like to say, or?
No, like I said, I mean, it's pretty uneventful. Formula One, a little boring. compared to the other races. So look forward to the next race. And, even they didn't even have the post interviews today on TV on NBCSN, so I haven't seen those yet. I wanted to see the body language between Nico Rosberg and Hamilton. I think from a F1 driver's standpoint, those two drivers is the main characters in this F1 soap opera this year. Raikkonen and Alonso, I think, will eventually develop into having some issues together, but so far I think it's the Mercedes boys that we have to keep an eye on, because I thought it might end in tears today when they were so close together near the end.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess that will conclude our Formula One segment. Next up on the show lineup here, I'll skip ahead. We have our NASCAR review, virtual race, and so on. Thank you, Peter, and we'll see you after Monaco.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Now, you just saw the Formula One review. Thank you, Peter. He is awesome for doing that. We did it later in the day than he wanted to. He said he wanted to do it more toward middle of the day, which I understand. Get it done with and have the night.
That's like people mentioning morning to me. It's not going to happen.
But I had Skype issues. My computer wasn't exactly adapting to the updates on Skype. My luck. Because I think it's Windows 8 based, and since I have Windows 7, it wasn't really lining up correctly. Woohoo! So like I said, in the next upcoming months, when school gets out, maybe we'll have him down there, not literally over there in the closet, but sitting there.
Maybe in the middle, my side or something. We'll figure something out.
Maybe hang up on the roof or something, I don't know.
Right, I know, not only do we need another camera, we need a bigger studio.
I'm working on it.
Well, I figure you squeeze all your dad's stuff out there, all in this room, we can have that whole thing.
Yeah, I try to tell him that. I've already asked if I could use the bar or something. No. You're lucky enough I gave you my room. Alright.
That's what he calls this, his room?
This was his NASCAR room. His sports room. He's planning on the walls here, putting the car cases lined up this way and having like a checkered flag pattern like I have, and having the car cases. And when I did the checkered flag pattern, I said, hey look, part of your dreams came true.
Why couldn't you still do the cars?
He said that being that it's my studio, it's up to me what I want to do. And he said that it looks fine the way it is. Okay, pain in the butt. We gotta edit that part out. Now to the NASCAR review here. Top 5 for the 5-hour Energy 400. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished 5th. Joey Logano finished 4th. Casey Kane finished 3rd. Kevin Harvick finished 2nd. And Jeff Gordon won the race. Very nice race. Danica Patrick finished 7th. And I seriously was sitting there going, go Danica!
I think that was the most impressive day I've seen for her. So, and it was funny because it almost seems like now the reporters and whatnot, the guys talking, they seem like they are willing to go back to talking a little bit more about her. If you notice, they kind of backed off.
Yeah.
But that was because, it's a big learning curve.
Yeah,
but I think she's on a great team. They're undeniable at this point in time. Stewart Haas Racing, wow.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny how I was thinking about it. You're like, she seems like she's keying in on the super speedways, maybe not the rest of them. Next week, top 10. It's like, huh.
Yeah,
maybe she watched the show, heard Dave say that, and go, you know what, I'm going to prove him wrong.
I would love to hear from her if that's what happened. Like I said, I'm impressed. I think she did really well. I didn't foresee a win. I think it was a possibility, obviously, because a lot of things can happen, but I wasn't foreseeing a win because there were a couple of cars on that track that were just too fast. And Kevin Harvick was, without a doubt, faster than anybody else on the track, pretty consistently the whole race. Even pits.
Yeah.
His team was doing it, but yet couldn't pull it off in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just that late pit, and it didn't time out right for how everything settled, and Jeffy got out there and ran with it.
But one more lap, Harvick would have had that race. Heck, coming to the stripe, it was like half a car length to the line.
I would say probably a half a lap more.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go through your notes here. The trucks didn't even make 2 laps, 4th year in a row. I have to say this, last week, as you guys know, last week's show got out late. You know that. And that's because did the show on Monday night, I think, right? Yeah, Monday night because I got back from Vermont. Then I had baseball practice Tuesday, and I had another practice game. So like I didn't get the chance. Like
excuses.
Yeah, I know it actually is because most of the nights I had chance, and I'm like, I don't really want to do editing. Well,
see, and he admitted it on air.
Still
has the ability to edit that out, but
I'll leave it.
I'll mention it later just to make sure it's still in there.
So I was editing Friday night. I was thinking, okay, I'll put the truck race on, I'll edit. And I'm like, shoot, I made a promise that I'd follow every truck race on Twitter. At the beginning of the year, in my mind, I went, okay, I'm going to follow every truck race using hashtag RHFollowTrucks. Alright, so most truck races, they kind of start off and they settle in, they do a couple of laps, they do probably about half the race, then they start ramping up. So if I work quickly, I can get the editing done, save it, upload, and be ready for the second half. Well,
it was the last lap the minute they started.
Yep.
That's how they were driving. It was like literally the last lap the minute they started.
I put one earbud in my ear to start editing, and I had the race on, and I'm Twitter, green flag in the air, send, go to the editing, oh, we got trouble on turn 4, oh, shoot, okay, and we're back again, darn it, another caution, it's like, it took me all night to get it done. As soon as the race is over, I put the trial 5, I'm like, alright, so I got the first 10 minutes of the show edited, got another hour and 20 to go.
Yeah, it was a busy race. It was one of those you could walk away from without getting caught halfway through walking away.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually got up. I'm like, okay, they just went up to restart. I'm just going to go up, get an iced tea, and I get around the couch, and I hear, and we got trouble. I'm like, darn it! And I walk back around the couch, and I...
Yeah, when you get older like me, you go to do something, that happens in the race, and then you forget what you were going to do anyway, so you wind up trying to do it later on when you remember.
Yeah. Then you put hard hit for Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, I was just glad to see both of them come walk out of that.
Yeah.
Although Blaney did not look like he was in the best of condition, but I haven't heard anything negative.
No, he seems to be all set. He seemed a little rattled, but...
Oh, yeah, he was kind of walking funny, kind of real slow like, but... I mean, I can relate, but
yeah.
that was a hit out of nowhere.
And then I put something, what's up with turn 2, Weeper. I know we've had rain there.
I didn't catch that. I was kind of wondering what that meant.
Well...
I know what a Weeper is, but
what I was thinking was every accident that happened in a truck race seemed to happen in turn 2. Just a random spin off turn 2. Ryan Blaney's wreck was kind of bumping and banging and then coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But spin, slide, going up the track. I almost felt that maybe along the seam there was a little bit of surface water that wasn't being caught by NASCAR. That when they were going into that corner...
You didn't physically see anything and nobody talked about it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I know that Thursday night they had... Wednesday night they had events canceled because of the weather. Because they're in the middle of the hard-hit area right now. So I was thinking, okay, they probably have a lot of rain. Ground surface is wet. You know what I mean? It might have been a possibility. And I was just assuming... And I wasn't sure if you were able to catch anything of that. But... seemed like a lot of things were happening off turn 2.
What's funny is now that I'm actually reading the way you typed it, now I'm completely understanding what you're saying. You were saying, what is up with turn 2? Pause. Weeper is with a question mark.
How are you reading it?
What is up with the turn 2 Weeper is what I read originally. And sitting there going, I don't remember any Weeper. But then again, like I said, with my memory...
And then...
They could have talked about it, I listened, it didn't sink.
And then... You would like to read this note?
Kyle Busch again, baby.
Yep, there it is. Now to the Cup Series. Who would have guessed? Rain. But they it never rained. They only paused the start because of area.
Yeah,
lightning.
Area.
But they never actually.
It was mainly because they had to pull the spotters down. Is what happened.
Yeah, basically, they basically went, hey guys, see that? Yeah, see that light? Yeah, get out.
Well, they learned from their mistakes, and unfortunately, if you remember, not that long ago, a couple people got zapped. You really don't want that to happen.
And then this next note, I was looking over it in L.A. Yeah, don't tell Miss Colin. What did you mean by that?
You'll probably find it in this issue of Illustrated. I know it's in the new issue of You get the box with the top 3.
Oh.
And then the one that rotates.
Yeah.
Well,
the running order.
What I've read, and how did I say? Yeah, okay, you know what? I already said that. I don't like it. So I wasn't going to put Fox down at all. But I have to agree with what people were saying. There's a few reasons they don't like it. Number one being it takes up too much space. You know, I got a big screen at home, and I actually measured it. It's 4.5 inches of my screen. It's this big. The old one was only like that. It was maybe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, and it ran across the top. It is tough. Also, with the old one, as it flowed, you could actually look away, take a second out. If you were looking for certain positions, like if you're only looking for the top 10, you could just view the top 10. Or you see it's like in the teens, you just, you can do something else or whatever, and then randomly come back. You're not always going to hit or miss.
Yeah.
But if you turn away from that thing just once, it goes right by. Plus, the other thing is, it's kind of what another guy complained about totally. He was very whiny about it. I'm not a big complainer, but he did have a point. It sits there for quite a while. It's like a full 45, 50 seconds. I was actually trying to time it after I read what people had said. And it's long. Each group of, what is it?
I think
it's 5 cars, 4 or 5 cars on the right, will sit there for like almost a full minute before it changes to the next one. So if you're sitting there, when you're going through it, you're trying to find where your driver is, not just the top 10 positions. If you're trying to find specifically where your driver is, I actually did it on Saturday night with Kyle Busch, because he was not having a good day, and I'm wondering where he is, and it seemed like it was 15 minutes before I got to find out he was in 17th. Yeah. It was like, I have to agree with them. I probably would have never said a word if I hadn't read about it.
Yeah.
But it does seem, I think they probably should go back the other way. I think it made more sense that it was a constant flowing ticker. At least that way you could somewhat time it out in your head. You know what I mean? It gave you a little, and plus it doesn't take as much as the screen.
And I think what they might, and I agree with you, but something I like is that it gives you the top 3. You know that top 3. And maybe what they could do is say, actually, I haven't used this in a while. You have your TV screen, you have a box with the top 3, and then the running order. You know what I mean? Like maybe a box up in the top corner with the running order going across with the top 3 and the lap counts, and then the rest of the running order. Scrolling.
Yeah,
because that I like being able to look up and go, oh, Harvick, Keselowski, Biffle. That's your top 3. Okay.
So you're basically,
but
you are one of those people that are agreeable with what they're doing because you really only want to check the top 3 at random.
Well, really what I do is I look at the top 3 to see, okay, there's Harvick, they're following Harvick, how far? Okay, Biffle's right there. That's how far they are. You know what I mean?
If I were you being the fan you are, I would think you would be
I am.
looking at why on earth is Tony Stewart 20 positions behind Danica Patrick. Last week's race it was that way. Am I making it up?
But really what I do is when I'm on, and you can see this over here, I'm on...
I wouldn't call it her best finish, I'd call it her best day.
It was her best finish.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
By what, 1?
By 1.
What did you do? She had a great day.
Every point counts.
Understood. So does passing.
Well, not really, not anymore.
So does stuff that happens during the race.
It does. Because if you're outside the top 20 and you have a win, that win's taken away from you. Did you know about that?
I'm sorry, what?
If you have a win, and in the points, if you're outside the top 20, when it comes chase time,
that win
gets taken away from
you. I didn't know
that.
That was part of the rules? I didn't know that.
And
what if there was a different driver for every race?
And if there's more than 16, drivers with the most wins get top picks, and then they go from points with
and there's 26 races, right?
26 races.
So they could have come up with 26 winners, which would not work out for the championship plan.
And we have
the chase
9.
plan.
And we have 9 different winners so far. Might I add. So we're gonna probably fill 16.
I'm just curious. Can I interject here on this ticker that they got going there? Isn't it 3, the top 3, and then 5 and 5.
Yeah, actually it is.
It's the top 3 and then 10, and the 10 keep changing.
I guess it's entirely possible.
Go.
So would you like it to play now?
Yes, please.
Speed's bad right now.
Hold on, I know how to fix that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
That's what I did.
Well, I know if you go to HD, it's terrible. Unless you have real high speed.
Well, that's why I put it on this. So there you go. You know, now I kind of want to just sit back and watch the race. But we won't. There you go. You have leaders, really blurry. Leaders, and then they change every 4. So what I was thinking was...
I believe that he is 100% right. And I believe they've changed it, consistently trying to improve. Because, as you saw at Daytona 500, it wasn't the top. It was 3 bars of groups, and went as far as it just kept rotating. So it wasn't just showing the top 3 like your preference.
Yeah.
Then I believe they went to the top 3, 4 and 4, and then they knocked off the last 4. So there's been several changes.
And what I was thinking was don't have my pointer stick here. Kind of want to. What I was thinking was if you have your laps, top 3, and then this is a scrolling bar like they had last year. You would have your top 3 leaders, and then say the scrolling bar is as wide as 2 positions all the way across to where the Fox logo is. This way you have the continuous running of the drivers, and you have your top 3.
Yeah, we fans, we just want everything.
We just want it all way.
This is where it's going to get interesting.
But remember, we are paying.
So can I turn this off?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Mr. France is very much aware of the fact that if we're not happy, he's not wealthy.
What did you do to my screen now?
Just give me a second. I went full screen. Are you going to be okay?
I think so.
He'll figure it out.
Oh,
this is, by the way, then again, with me, I have nowhere to go. And no offense to people out there. With me, I know where to go since I am, I don't know if you know this, I've been promoted to media now. Since I am media, I know where to go to find things. So like this is what I'll be looking at during the race. This is on NASCAR.com. They have the live leaderboard. You probably know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be just okay, where's Danica? I already went by her, but there you go. Okay, she's running. She is blah 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 laps. Where is blah blah? Oh, he's 1 lap. Wait, yeah, I think so. 1 lap down, or I don't know. But that's how I follow the race. I don't really watch the on-screen leaderboard. I'd go to the NASCAR.com one. But that's me.
Yeah, I don't want 80 things on in front of me at the same time.
Well, that's me also having it open this way. When the race is done, I can go right there and type in the top 5 on my notes.
Gotcha.
So, just because my luck, I
Although
close
one
out.
time you did that, it was unofficial and it did change.
Yes, I know. Go back to the notes, and we'll let you come in on this. Obvious, I'm not. Yeah, never mind. The lights going off.
Yeah, I'm taking it that wasn't on purpose. I thought they did that on purpose because I thought somebody had discussed that it was being, the upper ones were being shut down to see how the track would be.
I don't know.
For necessity of the time, how late it was.
I have no idea.
Although they don't have a bedtime there, or not a bedtime.
Well, being that they're in the middle of nowhere, I can see
yeah,
why.
there's I can't
curfew.
Think of, curfew. There's no curfew on the lighting.
But in my opinion, NASCAR should not have continued that race.
Why?
Because it was on board. You could not see a single car around you except for this black object moving back and forth.
Yeah, but if you remember, they were under caution, and it was up to the drivers,
yeah,
not up to NASCAR.
No, I know that, but the drivers I don't think realized what they were going to be in under racing condition. Because
They're
you're
going
under.
around and around the track. They can see how light it is.
No, I know, but still.
I thought it was cool, personally.
Well, the camera angles weren't helping. It's like back straightaway, dark shadows. You know what I mean? It's like
I don't know. I didn't see it that way.
I don't agree with you.
And I think even the end call wasn't as bad as you're making it sound. I think it was still pretty reasonable. The lights that were on the bottom are angled so that they don't glare in the driver's eyes.
yes, I know.
They
that.
only light the track. So I don't know. To me, I think it was pretty cool. I think it was kind of more like a new version of a night race look.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having all the ballistic lighting, everywhere, up on the high and in the middle and the inside and the outside and all of that, I think it was pretty neat. But it wasn't until I saw your note that I realized that it was just the back straight. I thought it was the whole track. I thought they did it on purpose.
No, it was just the back straight.
Right. Well, I did catch them say that they left NASCAR decide to leave it in the hands of the driver, so we're going to go on the course
I
for a
heard
few
that,
laps
yes.
here and let the drivers decide what they think.
Never mind. I don't know. When they went back in the green, I went. Because at a second, I could have sworn that one of those drivers, when they come up the corner, they can't see because the Hans device. And I didn't know the spotters had a good view because of the lights. I didn't realize that. I thought that they needed the track fully lit.
Well,
I don't know. I just didn't see it ending well. We saw it at Daytona a couple.
They came back up.
I think it ended
No,
great.
No.
Jeff Gordon wins, Jimmy Johnson didn't.
The lights situation. We saw it a couple of years ago at Daytona. The lights on the back straightaway went dark in practice.
Right, but yeah,
And
that
there
was
was a
dark.
wreck. No, I know, and there was a wreck. Drivers and teams did
that
not.
was inside-outside lighting, though, I think.
Yeah, it's starting to sound like his generation. Sorry, I don't want to go back there again.
Whatever.
Anyway.
So I don't. Yeah.
Well, you know what? As I mentioned in the notes here, I personally thought of it as might even be an idea for Loudon to get Canterbury to back off. If the lights are low, you're going to have a lot less light pollution. And their complaints of the noise and the light pollution.
I actually even thought about that, about the track, and I'm pretty sure Jerry has thought it through. He probably has gone through every avenue that's possible. But on the back straightaway.
Well, you never know because nobody's ever tried that. It was more or less an accident.
Yeah.
And if he was watching the race, he probably was watching and going, I wonder if there's something there.
Yeah.
Well, Daytona, if you actually look at the way the lights are laid out at Daytona, they can get away without the top lights because they have the in and the out, and they're basically, I don't know how to explain it, but if you're looking, say this is the track itself, the oval, just use your imagination here.
Yep.
The drivers are going this way, right? But the lights are actually facing on an angle the same way. So they're not in the driver's face.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they pointed out at this race, was that they're angled
They
to
have-
light the track, but not...
Yeah, they have that at almost every track, that when the driver's going, you just see the side of the light. You don't actually see the
But
light coming forward.
Daytona itself has them inside and out.
They don't have an inside and out low.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
If I can bring up the picture right now, I don't think I can because I think it's in my memory thing. But I have a perfect shot of us actually at Daytona, and right in front of us are lights facing us and lights going the other way. They're higher, the ones on the outside, but they're not the high. Like baseball stadium type lights, and that's what they lost at that track, were the high guys up across in front of the spotters.
Yeah.
Take those out of Daytona, and they can still do it. There's still plenty of lighting on that track.
I know at the Rolex 24-hour race, they turn highlights down.
Yes, they do.
To almost every other set of lights. Like
Yeah,
if you have your set, you have
you're
4,
right.
you have 1 and 3.
And when they
on.
go to the infield, though, it is actually dark, but they're driving with headlights.
Yeah.
So it's a different story.
And
There you go. Just get rid of the lights altogether and make them use headlights. Headlights in the night races. That would be actually pretty wild.
It would be wild until the first accident, and they had the glass from the lights all over the place.
Imagine the sparks, though.
That's why they were, what do you call it? That's why they don't have lights.
All right, enough about lights.
Okay, view from Crank It Up was...
Oh, did you guys catch that one? It was like a newer view that they had. There was literally a camera in the track.
Yeah, we've had that for a
Yeah.
while.
I've never seen it. It's always off
No,
to the side, and when
it's
it
always
cut
off
low,
to the
this was
side.
in the
This
middle
one's
of
in
the
the middle
track.
of the track.
No,
I mean,
know.
there was track
They have-
on that side, there was track on this side.
They have it at Daytona, dead in the middle of the back straightaway.
Never noticed it, but doesn't matter. Put them in every track because that was incredible. I did the crank it up when he said crank it up. You know, I'm like, what the hell? We're getting towards the end here. I cranked it way up. It was late, obviously, but
So
I was
all your
almost. I
neighbors
wish I
heard it?
had my surround sound still because it was almost like hard hitting when the cars were going off. It was like, whoop up, whoop up, whoop up. I was like, that is awesome. I'm sitting in front of the TV going, wow. I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
it was. That's why I made that note. I'm like, that was just awesome.
Yeah. Then we talked about Danica Patrick.
Not to mention the speed.
Yeah, every time it went over, it was like,
That's what I'm talking about. You hear the car,
tire
but then you get
actually-
that boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think those are only at tracks that Fox cover, by the way. I think that's a Fox installed thing because if you think about it, when they go to TNT, they go to ESPN, they don't have any of
Well,
those
it's
in track.
and
It's probably
they
a-
used to call it the digger cam, but
Yeah.
as Darrell Waltrip said in his last race, digger retired.
Well, but even when they go back to tracks such as Daytona,
Looks more like Digger moved out in the middle of the track.
TNT doesn't even use the in-track cameras when they go back to Daytona where Fox
Well,
starts.
maybe they don't want to pay for the responsibility of it.
No,
because
no, I know. I
You're
think
cutting
that,
a hole in the track.
I think that's an only a Fox. We're gonna patent this. We can only use it.
Yeah, well,
But
nothing,
whatever.
nothing lasts forever that way.
But whatever. Excellent. Good job for Jeff Gordon. Congratulations. Agreed.
Yeah.
Very much so.
He did well.
And Jeff Gordon gets a win before Jimmy.
Now, what I find funny about that note is for the next following few days, every headline in every single racer magazine, NASCAR, all about Jeff gets win before Jimmy. Everybody was saying the same thing. I said it when it first happened.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. So now we're going through your notes.
There we have.
We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, him and I are going to race each other on Charlotte. And don't worry, I plan to give you probably about a couple of laps of testing. Just...
No, I say we just go for it.
Oh, God. So, yeah, on the other side of this break, we'll have a virtual race, and then we'll go to the Points Championship and final lap. And I think that camera just died on us.
Yep.
Good for me!
It wasn't.
Shocker. But luckily for the rest of the show, we have that camera to do the virtual race, and then the rest of the show is basically this, because there is no Points Championship notes. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Live Hitter Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. Okay, so now it's time for Dave and I to race. As you see, there's my car, and then behind it is Kyle Busch's car. He decided to be a team. I'm still going with my own car. So, here we go. First time, split screen. I think the rest of the field is with us. Yes, it is. I'm on top, you're on bottom. Good luck. You wrecked me intentionally. We have to wait till we get to the line.
Oh, so
Right now,
the gas right now is gonna help.
Right now we have no control.
I want to write guys in front of me and see if I get a good impression in front of you.
We're on easy mode, by the way. Green flag in the air.
Why is the view keep changing like that?
I was doing that.
Oh yeah.
We will have a caution if needed.
Yeah, I am definitely turning this too much.
I did that. Oh no! I caused the caution. Dave. No. Okay, so here's the reason for the caution.
D-shaped track. I forgot that.
Oh my god. Okay. 8 laps, I think we have to survive. I'm not entirely sure.
Do we even have one yet?
I got one. Okay.
What just happened?
We could have had a pit stop.
Oh.
But really, there's no need.
Okay, so what are we waiting for?
Look at the damage we both have on our cars. My front end's destroyed and your Valen is way off. Alright, you know what? There's really no point in this race. Let's just have some fun with this. Oh, he's actually making positions on people. Look who's a fast learner.
Yeah, cursing infield doesn't work though.
I'm just watching ahead of me this car that keeps going back and forth across the racetrack. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
I think I'm bringing out the caution.
Oh gosh. Another caution.
Still making ground though.
Yeah, you were.
Because of look at this. Oh, you were already halfway sideways. You just took him out. Wow.
Sorry, Kyle.
Kyle's probably watching this being ashamed.
I understand that the actual drivers do use these things.
Yeah, they use them to, of course they usually
use as basic as this all the way up to literal simulators.
Alright, here we go.
You're pretty much in a car, but you're not.
Basically,
Like the one at the track?
Yeah, iRacing.
I think they're a little more complicated than that.
Green flag in the air.
Why are they going?
We had to get to the line. Where am I? What? Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't even know what happened. Look, I just give it gas and the thing stepped out.
Well, that does happen, by the way. That's called being loose in the rear.
Okay. I'm gonna actually take a pit stop here. So Dave, you get to just sit back and relax.
Why shouldn't I take a pit stop?
Well, you had to choose if you wanted to take a pit stop.
Well, see, these are things that I don't know.
Sorry.
So you're cheating, so you're bettering your car right now while mine's still damaged.
Would you like to restart the race?
Nope.
I'm not that good. Cars are taking a pit stop, and so are the host and co-host here.
We're going to clean my tires off.
They won't let you. Right now, you're basically strict.
You got some slow pit guys, buddy.
I had to do repair. Alright, here we go. I don't know why I got fuel. I got fuel, 4 tires, and repair. See why it took so long? That car looks spotless. Here we go. By the way, next caution if you want to get a pit stop. Sorry.
Just trying to the hell with.
No, I know. Waiting, 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 waiting. Green flag in the air.
Oh, come on.
Keeping an eye on my opponent here as I'm going into the wall. So is my opponent. Oh!
Did you just wreck me?
No, you came up on me.
Nah, you wrecked me.
No. Look, here's the replay. You went way down and you clipped right back up into me. Jeez.
Everybody blames Kyle Busch.
I'm coming to get a pit stop. Hit 2. Gas. Oh, slow down there, bud.
I'm not driving.
Okay. We're each getting 4 tires, fuel, and repair. Whoa! We're both going to the same pit stop. Pit stall, apparently.
Actually, look, he just went right through me.
8 laps, that's taken forever.
What's the clock?
Nice job, boys.
Where?
Great pit stop. That was our
Your
first
clock.
stop today.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just found that out. Realized that yesterday.
It's either running a little fast or very, very slow.
The second hand not moving, it's going.
Oh.
Here we go. Just so you know, game on. Eight-lap race, lap 15 of 16. Oh, jeez. Oh, God, oh, God. Hey! What's up with that? Dude!
That was all you, bud. I stayed in line.
No!
How do I get back out there? Come on, come on.
Hey, you know what?
Is that you? Can I
Yeah.
wreck you?
That's me. You're wrecking yourself.
That's because I'm trying to watch your screen so I know where you are. There you go. Like everything vibrates.
I know, right?
I'm sure it feels worse than that.
Watch out, the rest of the field's coming.
Yeah, well, and then on the caution.
No, the race just ended.
Great first race for Dave. Now, if the race ended, why am I still even
Because
doing
you
it?
haven't gotten to the... There you go, you just DNF'd. Ah.
Yeah, you're doing much better. What are you doing?
Trying to get out to back to the...
To me, it doesn't look like you're trying to do anything.
Which is the reverse button?
I think there is one. So, I thought this wasn't working.
No, the memory card was full. Alright. Nothing much of that.
I don't think I did too bad.
No, actually, for the first time, you did really well. Well, you just saw the virtual race.
Yeah.
And we've decided that probably every week we're going to do that.
I don't think I did too bad for my first time.
No.
Towards the end, I was just doing it on purpose. But
Toward the end, you were just like, yeah, whatever. Just.
Well, I wanted to wreck you.
Well, it was funny because we both wrecked. I just came right down. I turned you, and we both spun up into the wall. And then you DNF'd.
No, I won't keep using that as an excuse.
So now to the points championship. Really? That's it.
You've already talked about it.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah. Final lap here. Quick ending. We have some show lineup changes, though. And we are going to talk about that in a minute. IndyCar is off till the 25th of May. Indianapolis 500. Monaco for Formula 1. That's when Peter will return. Then Global Rallycross is off. Well, they race next weekend, but they're not airing it on NBC Sports Network until the 24th of May. I'm not sure why they are doing that, but I think it's actually just NBC, not NBC Sports Network.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have that coverage of that weekend. Truck Series Friday 8:30 p.m. Fox Sports 1. Nationwide Sunday 2 p.m. ESPN there at Iowa. Cup Series is kind of tricky this weekend because it is All-Star Weekend. And if you remember, they did the Sprint Showdown and the All-Star Race both on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Well, now they're doing the Sprint Showdown before the Truck Race on Friday night. So it's going to go Truck Race, Sprint Showdown, then Truck Race, and then on Saturday they're going to have Burnout Competition, Qualifying, and Race. And the race is late. Really late. It's 9 p.m. here on the East Coast. And we will be following that. I think that's #RH All-Star.
That's on the East Coast, though, right?
No, not yeah. That is on the East Coast.
So yeah, it's just a late start.
Yeah, they're starting late
because the All-Star race. So
yeah.
They just want to make sure it's dark.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and like I said, we will be following it on Twitter, and you can access my Twitter feed through Facebook, and we'll talk about that later when we get closer. Now, I'll bring this up. Oh, hold on.
What changes are you talking about here?
Okay, so nothing major really. As soon as the Sprint All-Star Race is done, so starting next week, these changes come into effect. Or permanent changes, actually. The new order for the show will go opener, which we always do. We'll introduce the show lineup. Then we'll go to the Motorsports in 60, which for the rest of the season, except for a first weekend in May, will be, any later in May, a couple weeks, for the Monster Energy Cup for Supercross. Motorsports in 60 will cover nationwide trucks and, of course, Supercross and their racing, but they only have one race left. Then, when it's occasion, we have the social pit stop. Then we'll go to IndyCar and Formula One, which will be part of our open wheel update.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of, nothing really going to change. Like, we're not going to have big screenshot, open wheel update, and then this, which F1 will have Peter Long. And then we'll have Global Rallycross. We'll have an add-in, which is really like, when the United Sports Car Tour races or something like that, and I catch that before the show, and I go, oh, you know what, let's throw that in. And we go to a break. Then when we come back from break, we have NASCAR. I realize since with our notes, we've been kind of talking a long time, you know what I mean? So I thought, throw a break before. This way we have that opening for the talking.
We had time for a little review, too, beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. And then we go to the Points Championship and final lap. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but the virtual race is out of it.
Okay.
That does not mean we're done with the virtual
race.
race.
So you just told everybody we were going to do it.
No, I know that. And I'm not saying that we're going to be... Virtual race is never going to happen again. That's now going to peel off as its own segment on the YouTube page.
Okay.
So we'll still do it. And I'll still commentate it, and we'll still record it on the night of the show. I'll just edit that video, save it, and upload it to YouTube by itself.
Okay.
Like I did a couple weeks ago with Talladega. So really, this is basically to try to cut down on the... We're 3 hours into the show. Have a nice night, everybody, and I hope I didn't lose you at minute 2. 2 minutes in. So that's really what this is for. And virtual race was really kind of a... Okay, we're going to have a serious... Okay, you know what?
Originally, we wanted to make the show longer, and now we're trying
Yeah,
to
now we're cutting
backtrack.
back. So yeah, this is how it really is. We're going to have this up on the Facebook page as soon as we get in. You might have how it looks on screen a little bit better, different, because I'm discovering what I can do in my editor. I think we might have, like, on the side of your screen, like a lineup of what we're going to be talking about. Like, Kevin Harvick, Wayne, or Cup, Sprint, like we'll have Motorsports in 60, and then the show lineup there.
Gotcha.
This way you know, as, like, you know how in Fox Sports 1 they'll move that down, they'll move everything down. Basically, that's what I'm thinking. No bottom line with, like, a scrolling thing, just like a sidebar.
Right.
But,
no, I understand.
yeah, All depends on what I can do with my editor, because I've been playing around with it a little bit, and I'm realizing, holy cow, I can do all these awesome effects.
So we'll know more next week.
Yeah, exactly. So, so really the big change, Virtual Race is leaving. But it's just going to YouTube. It's not going to be in the show. It's still going to be done. It's just going to be under the... I'll go to YouTube real quick. On the Racing Hotspot channel, youtube.com/Racing Hotspot. Right. Hold on. Hold on 1 second here. There you go. Now, on the bottom of the page, probably going to move it up a little bit, but I'm not going to do that on camera. You have the Racing Hotspot Virtual Lap, which I'll change the name to Virtual Race. So that's on the YouTube page.
So really, one lap wasn't enough, right?
What do you mean?
Like for the virtual thing.
One lap was just a, hey, let's do this to try to introduce you to the race, but then we realized let's kind of spice it up for the viewers, because really, me going,
You don't ever go west, boy, That's more like it.
Point is that we wanted to entertain and also show at like Daytona how the draft works, like how quickly, wow, I just came right up to that guy's back bumper like that, because the aerodynamics basically went, come on up.
And you crashed again.
And I crashed. But we won't go there. Like I said, I'll stay in the booth. So yeah, that's really how it's going to go. This is effective as soon as after the All-Star race on Saturday. So you'll see this coming up next week. And the on-screen graphics, like I was talking to you a minute ago, will slowly come in, like maybe...
As you progress.
Yeah, like this week we'll have it, next week we may not, you know what I mean? Because it's really a situation of, do I remember to do it? Because if it's hey, we have a show tonight and I don't have the notes done, it's not going to be on there because I don't, that's like an extra thing.
Well, that would be you slacking, so there's no...
No, I know.
Slacker.
But, I don't know. So, yep, as you saw in the show lineup, a lot of extra color, added things. We'll continue to do that, just a little bit different in the way we file things up.
Cool.
And, I don't know if you can tell, but that TV hasn't been on in a while. But, we're on Chromecast right now, and I'm trying to figure out how to control that through this. And I will figure it out, just not on show.
Yeah, well, based on the fact that the cameraman fell asleep half an hour ago watching you play with it.
So yeah, we're working on getting that set up, and it hasn't been on. It actually looks better than what it did before the season started, when it was completely blue.
I recall more what he said. It looked more like it went green than blue. It was like a blue-green, I guess.
I don't know. Okay, so I'm kind of rambling on here. So...
No.
Wow, Dave. Okay, so that will do it. Next weekend is All-Star Weekend for us here at Racing Hotspot. We'll, I don't know, I'm planning on decorating somehow. Not much you can do with this studio.
Oh, you got a new poster.
New poster, but it's All-American Series, not that all... Whatever.
No, the one you were holding for.
Oh, yeah, I'll put that on. So yeah, that will do it for us. I'll work on the technology throughout the week. Maybe we'll have 2 screens running next weekend. Who knows? Maybe not. Probably not.
Yeah, maybe you'll remember to empty the memory card and charge the cameras. But anyway.
Well, so that will do it for us. Join us here. We'll record the show on Sunday next week, so we'll have it up, because there really is no Racing Sunday. So we'll have it up on Tuesday afternoon next week. But until we see each other then, have a good night, everybody, and goodbye.
Good night.